Hi guys, sorry I had to film on YouTube because that other option wasn't really working out. All right, I've chosen to read Perks of Being a Wallflower by Stephen Chbosky. I chose this novel because it's always been on my list to read and has been recommended to me by several friends. I also really enjoy reading coming of age stories and can kind of relate to feeling like the outsider who has a little trouble finding their place in life. I also know that there's a movie and I've always wanted to read the book before I watched the film. So, the novel centers on a young man named Charlie who is writing letters to his friend. It is through these letters that he shares all the highs and lows of his freshman year of high school in 1991. Charlie is shy and often has trouble making friends. He is nervous about starting school but strives to make the best of it and seek new experiences. His freshman year becomes a defining time in his life. He meets a community of quirky friends that accept him and push him to step out of his comfort zone. It is through these friendships that he ultimately finds himself and begins the healing process from a deeply repressed trauma. Some strengths and weaknesses I found from the epistolary form were the Perks of Being a Wallflower plot is revealed to the reader through letters that Charlie is writing to a friend, and it's with these letters that we can really attain an in-depth personal perspective of the story. These personal letters that are shared from Charlie put a greater emphasis on the strong emotions and feelings he has throughout the novel. It's almost as if we have access to diary entries from him, which is one of the reasons why I think this format is such a strong choice. Some of the weaknesses I found of the epistolary format were this format might limit the reveal of certain events. For example, in Perks of Being a Wallflower, we're really only seeing Charlie's perspective of everything, and we actually never find out who he's writing to, who the friend is. But I still think that Charlie was very open and really raw with how he was sharing his feelings to his friend. I don't think he held anything back, so I don't think it ultimately really hindered the story. And I still think it's a strong choice because in Guernsey there were letters from multiple characters, so you did get different takes on certain events, and those letters from the many different characters revealed their own personality rather than Juliet being the only narrator describing them. So I think with Guernsey, when I'm comparing the two, Guernsey kind of needed those different perspectives because there were so many different storylines and everything. But with Perks of Being a Wallflower, it really is truly just Charlie's journey and his own personal journey of all of his high school year. So we really only needed his perspective. Throughout the novel, you're kind of wondering why he responds to a lot of the situations, or why he's so dismissive and shy, because he has such an amazing family and he meets these friends. But you really you can kind of tie everything together at the end when you realize he was sexually abused by his aunt. You can realize that he was actually just conditioned to be super dismissive in his relationships because he had so much trauma from his aunt. So with the letter that I'm writing to the character, I chose Juliet, and I'm kind of writing it. I'm pretending that Charlie was given an assignment by Bill, because in the story he has a teacher named Bill, and Bill gives him separate books to read apart from the class, and he writes his essays and everything like that. And so I'm kind of pretending that Bill gave him the assignment to write a letter to Juliet because he showed him the book of Guernsey. So this is my letter from Charlie to Juliet. Dear Juliet, I was given the Guernsey Literary and Potato Pie Peel Society novel by my teacher and good friend Bill. He has given me many books to read, and this novel is one of my favorites. As a writing exercise for class, we have to write a letter to one of the characters I best relate to. Just like you, I have a love for writing, and I often write letters to both express myself and process everything that goes on in my life. I enjoyed reading the letters of the various characters in the novel. All of their personalities and the friendships you made on that island reminded me of my friends and the people I met during my freshman year of high school. As I read through the novel, I think we both understand the importance of community. The closeness of everyone in the Potato Pie Peel Society reminded me of my group of friends. The society you became a part of in Guernsey served as both an escape and refuge from the hard times everyone was facing because of the war. My group of friends created that same safe place for me as I was processing through the difficult trauma I had repressed from my childhood. I wanted to write this letter to thank you for sharing your story, for it further validated my feelings that true friends really do make you feel infinite. Love always, Charlie. So yeah, I loved reading this book and kind of comparing the different parallels I found between the Guernsey book and this novel that I chose. And I'm excited to hear your guys' responses.